Do you ever think back on a time in your life when you did something that was great, or it was something that was horrific, something that you thought about and you said, man, that was terrible. It happened to me, or I did something, or it was great, and I remember it, and it's like it was yesterday. Sometimes we think about our lives and we look back and we see things that we did, we experienced, and we feel regret. We might have hurt someone or been hurt, said something, did something, and we feel that we can't get over it. Or maybe you did something that was great and you want to go back to it because it made you feel good. But I'm talking more about someone who was hurt. Let's say you got your heart broken, or you just did something that was just reprehensible, or someone did something to you when you were young and you just feel like ashamed about it. I want you to understand something here. This is a very serious thing to think about in life. Your past, the past that you had, the past that you lived, and what it means to you. It's like if you have a scar on your face and you say, I had this scar for many years because something happened to me in the past. Or if you have an emotional scar, like coming from war or being abused, and you say, because of what happened in the past, I'm now scarred. But you have to understand something, that on a physical level, you were not there. The person you are was not the person who was there before. If every 7 years your cells totally change and who you were totally is reformed and made different, then who you were 20 years ago is not who you are today. Now, you may think that's something that you have, imagined and dredged up, but I'll prove it to you in this way. Right now, think about your hair. Okay. Now, I have very short hair. I just got a haircut the other day, so my hair is very short, but I keep my hair short. Now, say, for example, when I was about 6 years old and I had uh, glue or gum in my hair, and I'm walking around with this in my hair thinking, wow, my hair's ruined, it won't come out. What must I do to get rid of the gum? I've got to cut it out of my hair. And once I cut it out of my hair, I might have a bald spot or my hairstyle is ruined. But I realize the hair will grow back and it'll be like it was never there before. But if I think about it, I can still feel the shame or feel the embarrassment or disgust of having gum in my hair and never let that thought go away. And I look at the spot where the gum was in my head and I say, remember when I had that gum in my hair? It was terrible. But see, I cut it out. And even though the spot is still there on my head, the gum is gone. And the hair that is now on my head never had gum in it. That's the point. Because all that has gone away. That hair is gone. That gum is gone. It is something of my past, and I can never relive it in a natural state. I can never touch it again. I can put gum in my hair again if I want to, but that particular incident is gone. And so the same thing with who you were. If you were someone and you were, let's say, molested or you did something stupid when you were young, understand that on the physical level, that person is gone. Everything that made that person is totally gone. Now, find a picture of yourself when you were a baby or someone in their teens or let's say you were in your upper teens, which is the teen years, or you were in your 20s. It'll make a difference. Find a picture of yourself when you were more than 7 years ago, younger. You will find that that person is totally gone. They don't exist. You can't find them on earth. There isn't a single cell in your body that is attached to that particular person. that person is gone. All that is, all that remains are memories. And so, just as you should not attach yourself to the bad thought you had about the gum in your hair, why would you attach yourself to something you did or something that happened to you when you were 4, 15, 20, or whatever? Okay? I understand people might be saying, well, I'm not a psychologist, and what am I talking about? But the point is, there are things that happen to all of us that we look back on and we realize two things. One, that we're not the same person that happened to. And two, a lot of times, the things that we remember are false memories, good and bad. I remember once I was hit by a car on my father's birthday, and it was on a Friday, and it was 1981. So I was 21 years old. And I remember that day. I remember my father's birthday, and I remember being on a Friday, and I remember being 1981, and thinking to myself, wow, if I had died, I would have died on my father's birthday. Well, my father's birthday is June 20th. And if you go back and look on the calendar, you'll find that June 20th of 1981 did not fall on a Friday. So, and I know this as a fact. In my mind, the memory is so strong of my being hit by a car on my father's birthday on a Friday, when in fact the day of my father's birthday was a Sunday, and I didn't work on Sunday. So I really don't, even today, understand how I have that memory. Now, I know I was hit by a car, but I don't have a correct memory of the events, because in my mind, it was definitely a Friday, it was definitely my father's birthday, and it's just totally not true. So I think about that. I say to myself, how many other things in my life do I remember that didn't really happen? At least in the way that I remember them. I have people that I have met, and they say, John, we were in school together, we were best friends, we played a lot together, we did things together, and I have no memory of that person. Or it's a very faint memory. And so you think to yourself, there are things that happen to us, good, that we forget. Things happen to us that are bad, and we just won't let them go. And we would go from being, a teenager to an adult to an old person, and we're still mourning something happened to us when it never really happened to us in that way. Or if it did happen to us, it's not us. It's a memory of someone who doesn't exist anymore. We have to learn to let the past go, to let these things that just eat us up, just relinquish those things, because it's not you anymore. You were never there. Just like I'm saying, you were never there. The person that I am right now, at 52 years old, I was never 21. There was a 21-year-old who looked something like me, but he had a whole different structure, whole different body, whole different mindset, whole different experience. And what came out of that person is who I am today. But I was never there. That was a whole different experience. Just as the hair that I have today, I didn't have when I was 21. That hair is gone. The skin cells, the bone structure, the stomach lining, everything that makes me a person, that is totally gone. There's no evidence of that person on earth except in my memory, except in pictures, except in people's memories that we can say, yeah, I knew, I saw, I experienced. But who I am today is a unique thing. It's a one-time thing. And when this next 7 years rolls away, then this person will be gone. Now, again, it's not just pop culture that we think about how people talk about things. It's real knowledge, it's real science, it's reality that we should not actively latch on to anything of our past that we don't want to, we don't need, because we weren't there. It's a memory. It's a trail of thought process that we feel attached to in some way, but the lines break many times over as we move through time, and we realize that what we remembered isn't as powerful or even as real as we imagined. Plus, as I said before, it wasn't us. I wasn't there. I'm here now. I'll be here for a short amount of time, but once that next change occurs, which in 7 years, or might be 5 years now, then this person will be gone, and a new person will arise from the mixture of whatever came out from this point. So I'm saying, I don't want to have to be a person who is always looking at the past and thinking that that's the best place to be, or it was so terrible that it affects me today. Choose to live in the time you're in now and understand that the things that happened to you in the past do not have to affect you unless you wish them to. But if you go back and try to find that person, sometimes even in your mind, they're gone. What remains is the only thing that matters. Thank you and have a great day.